Hey everyone, welcome to the Trendline Investor channel. So in this channel, every Sunday, I do post one stock video at least. Sometimes I do post 3, 4 in the same video, but this week I'm posting one stock video or I'm doing analysis of just one stock, which might do well in the coming months or in the coming years as well. So everyone has their own ways of analyzing stocks, and I do have my own approach as well. So I do combine technical analysis plus fundamental analysis, and I take a combined view before I invest in any stock. Now, obviously, you might question, why use technical analysis? Why don't just fundamental analysis? Because fundamental analysis alone does not give you a good view of, the entire stock price movements. So, fundamental analysis can tell you whether the stock actually has been doing well financially in the past many years. But are you buying the stock at the right point? Is a very important question that you need to ask, and that's why I use technical analysis. And I feel technical analysis can definitely help you find right entry points, especially if you're going to invest in a stock for the many months or coming for many years to come. So if you haven't followed my channel yet, do like and subscribe and hit the notification button to subscribe to get the notifications on your mobile or on your YouTube channel, so that you don't miss any of the stock videos that I post. Okay, so without wasting any time, let's jump into the stock analysis video for today. And the stock today that we're going to discuss is from the microfinancing space, which is CreditAccess Grameen. Okay, it's a fundamentally a very decent company, and it has not given much return since it was listed. But I'll also walk you through the chart price, where I'll show you what the stock has been doing since starting, and we'll also see what is the entry point to buy. What should be your stop loss, and what are the targets for the coming months or years. Okay, and after that, we'll also take a look at the fundamental analysis, and I'll walk you through the fundamentals of the company, the financials of the company, what the company is doing, what are the current numbers, whether it's been doing well in the recent past, what problems has it been facing, and so on and so forth. So without wasting much, let's look at the technical analysis for CreditAccess Grameen. So this is a stock chart price of CreditAccess Grameen. So I'll just remove this trend line that I've drawn already. But since listing, if you look at the chart, always start with the monthly charts, and that's the first point that I always say. Start with the multi-time frame analysis. The multi-time frame analysis will help you understand what the stock has been doing in the long term, in the short term, and if you want to buy, what should that price point be for you to buy that stock. So always start with the monthly charts, and first look at what the stock has been doing since 2018, right? So it was listed in 2018. It had a crazy one-way move up, and then COVID brought it down, and then since COVID, the stock has been going sideways and hasn't done much. So once you look at the monthly chart and that trend is kind of down and it's going sideways, the next thing is to switch to the weekly charts to get a better view of what the stock has been doing in the recent weeks. So if you see, the stock has been going down since December. So after the COVID crash, it went up till December 2020, and then the stock has been going down. But if you notice, this stock has not been able to go below this zone, right? So I'm just going to take this point here. I'm just going to show you why this zone is a very important zone, and why this zone might act as a very important support zone in the coming months or coming years as well. And probably the stock might not even come back to this zone sometime in the future, in the coming years. I'll tell you the reason as well for that. So once you do that, the next thing is to use this tool here called the trend line. Connect the topmost point in the stock price itself, which is Feb 2020, and then from there drag that trend line and connect how many more points you can, right? So I'm connecting this point. You can also draw parallel trend lines. Some people also say this, so you can also draw something like this. And now you can clearly see that this zone here, here, and here has been a strong resistance in the recent weeks, right? Because of which the price could not cross that, and finally in the week of Feb 2022, this stock had a very strong breakout above the trend line, and it also crossed this zone here, which is a major resistance zone over there, right? And it has broken out from the downward trending trend line with very good volumes, and last 4 weeks it has been sideways. And again this week, this stock has not broken out, but has tried to head higher with higher volumes again. Now the volumes in recent months also gives me confidence of why the stock is going to head higher, and that's one of the reasons why I'm recommending the stock this week. But before that, there are also a few indicators that I look at, and how did the stock come into my watch list. So I'm going to show you why the stock is something in my watch list, and you can use a simple CCI and a simple relative strength. And if you see, this stock has been in my watch list since the week of 14th March. Sorry, go to weekly charts. Yeah, so since the week of Feb 2022, 7th Feb 2022, the stock has been in my watch list. Now, how did it become a watch list? I have a scanner which I use, which is weekly CCI crossing 100. And if you see, this is the first time this stock crossed CCI 100, 164 this week. So I'm just going to pause the video just to show you that CCI, right? So if you see here, this week, the CCI is around 164 levels. So just observe this point over here, and CCI has crossed 164. But that was the first time this stock has crossed CCI 100 after March 2020, right? March 2020, it was above 100 levels. But then after that, so many months, so many years, after almost 2 years, the stock is again crossing into CCI 100 levels, which is a very bullish momentum for this stock. And I feel that this stock can head higher going forward. So that's the first reason how the stock came into my stock list. And the second reason is the relative strength is finally entering into a bullish territory. So if you see here, relative strength has been high before that COVID crash. It has always been high, and then it tried to go up, back in 2020, and finally the stock again started underperforming the index, and now finally the stock is again heading higher. And previously the high was 5.12, and this week the high is 5.17. So while the stock is yet to make a new high, at least a new 3-week high, here the relative strength is already making a fresh high, right? So that's one of the reasons why the stock has come into my scanner and my watch list. And definitely I am going to buy the stock. In case it's head high, I'm going to add more to the stock, in fact, because I already posted the stock on Twitter. So in case you have not followed me on Twitter, you can get some live updates. So do hit the notification, hit the follow button on Twitter, and try to follow me on Twitter as well. So CCI and relative strength are very important indicators, and you want to be using them to know if the stock is doing well, if its stock is in a bullish territory. I'll also be posting another video this week of how to use CCI to scan for stocks and what CCI means as well. So that's also another reason why you have to subscribe to my channel, right? So that you understand how I look at things, and from my perspective, how do I understand technical analysis. So combining all these three parameters, CCI, relative strength, and the trend line, I see there's a breakout happened already, and I see the stock is now again moving higher with heavy volumes this week. And for these three reasons, I'm going to buy the stock. In fact, I've already bought the stock for a minor quantity. I'll be adding more to the stock in the coming weeks. And also there is a major resistance here on the horizontal levels. So that's also a major resistance. And I feel if the stock is able to take out these levels, probably this week, then definitely we're heading higher towards levels of 1000 in the short term, at least in the next couple of months, and towards levels of 1500 in the coming months, right? So what should be your stop loss? That's the biggest question, right? So stop loss for me is around levels of 645 on the daily charts. If you see, I'm looking at the recent swing low, and for me that's the stop loss. And off late, last 3 days, the stock has just been going sideways after that massive move up in 14th of March. So you can buy the stock at current market price with a stop loss at 645 for targets of 1000 and 1500 in the coming months and coming years. So that's the technical analysis. Now, in case you have not, you don't know what technical analysis is and you're really struggling to understand what it is, there are a lot of videos that I've done in the past many years, at least in the last couple of years. There are many videos that I've done, and I've explained many stocks on how to analyze the stocks. So these are simple lines and just 2 indicators, and that's more than enough for you to learn at least, positional trading or holding a stock for a few months to probably a year or so, and they might really give you some good returns if you're able to catch stocks which are moving out of a long-term downtrend and stocks are entering into a new long-term uptrend. Now, CreditAccess Grameen, for that reason, is entering into a long-term uptrend, and that's one of the reasons why I'm recommending the stock today. So you can start with a small 5% position, and then if the stock does well and if it gives you profits, then keep adding more and probably take it to a 10% position. But if you're a beginner, do not take it beyond that. Okay, now that's the technical analysis for you. Now, a lot of you would know what fundamental analysis is, but today let's look at what I have and what are my thoughts on CreditAccess Grameen's fundamentals of the company. So for fundamental analysis, I use, most of you might know already, I use screen.in. So you can go here, type CreditAccess Grameen, and you will find a lot of details about this company on screen.in for free. Okay, that's the beauty of screen.in. It's a free tool where you can understand the company's financials. So looking at first what the company does, you need to always know what the company does. So the company is actually, if you look at screen.in, it clearly says that it's a Microfinance Institution. It's a non-deposit accepting. So they don't take deposits, but they do, finance, microfinance or lend loans to customers. Now, microfinance is usually people with small and medium scale businesses where you lend money to people for their small businesses, and that's why it's called microfinance. And the good part about this company is that it's one of the largest. It is the largest microfinance institution in the industry, and that's one of the reasons why I expect this company, it's a leader already in this area. And it also is focusing on the rural regions, rural geographies, and they also have a plan to expand to new geographies, right? Which means they're going to create more branches in rural areas in India, and they're going to focus on pure lending. And remember, these people in rural India are retail people, and retail people usually pay off their money back. They're not like these big institutions, who defraud the banks and they just run away from the countries. So for this, from this aspect, the loan book that they have is a really healthy loan book. So the retail loan book is really good, which means they have a good asset quality, which means there's a very high chance that they can recover the money that they're giving as loans to these rural women in the rural geographies of India. Okay, now COVID definitely had a severe impact on this company, and that's why you saw that COVID, price dropping in 2020. The price dropped almost, from 900 to 300 levels, and that's one of the reasons because COVID had a really bad impact, and this company did not do well for the last couple of years. But what has happened since last 1 year, or at least the last quarter, is that this company has been recovering very strongly. They have sent a lot of people across rural India to collect the loans that they're given, to collect the money that is due, and they have done a very good recovery in terms of getting more money, and that's going to reflect in the numbers that I'm going to show you shortly. And that's also one of the reasons why I'm recommending this company, because they have been doing well, and they've recovered very strongly after the COVID impact. Okay, and as I said, really good asset quality. Let's look at screen and see what the numbers are. So it is a not a medium-sized company, I'd say, but around 11,000 crore market cap. It has P is a little high, 40 P. ROC is around 8.2, 4.5. But for me, it doesn't really matter that the P is so high, because I still see that this company can do well. The ROC might increase in case the company does well in the coming months and years. Okay, ROC might probably go to 15, probably even higher. I'm not sure, but definitely the sales growth has been one of the key factors why I'm looking at this company today. The company has grown 17% recently, and it has no debt. It has a good ROE, ROC. Price sales is 5. It's a little overvalued, but I said the growth is really good, and we're going to look at that shortly as well. Okay, so the PE ratio, and the sales, which I always look at. If you see the EPS, or the earnings per share, has again come back to almost the pre-COVID levels, and I think we are probably going to head to a much higher earnings per share in the coming months, and probably in the next many quarters as well. So looking at the quarterly results, the company has again posted one of its highest, almost after March 2021, it is almost again reaching that March 2021 levels. It has posted 576 crores in revenue, and the financing margin is around 31%. Now that's almost getting back to the pre-COVID levels, in December 2019, March 2019. Okay, and for that reason, also the PAT has increased. Net profit has gone up to 129 crores, almost at an all-time high. In fact, it's an all-time high, and that's why the EPS also is at an all-time high of 8.29. Okay, and that makes it really interesting. And just look at the sales growth of this company from 62 crores, and they're right now at 2,000 crores sales in the last 10 years, and that shows how strong this company has been growing. And that's why, for me, even though it was listed in 2018, the share price is still available at the same price since 2018, and it looks really interesting. And I feel that this margin is just a short-term dip, and it might really do well in terms of profit and revenue also going forward. So they do have quite some decent reserves, and just looking at the promoter shareholding, they have a 73% shares held by promoters, 8% by FIs, and DIs have 10%. And also, if you see in the public, 1.79% is held by Tata AI insurance company or mutual fund company, right? So almost 6% of the float only is available for people like us, which means the number of shares which have been trading in the market is really less. So low float company, which means the moves might be really good, and that's why you see these moves that I showed you. The moves have been really quick when it comes, and I feel once we break out this levels of around 840 levels, then already it can reach 1,000 very quickly, probably in a week's time as well, or 2 weeks time as well. But once it crosses 1,000, then we are into virgin territory, which means clear blue skies. The stock can head easily to 2,500, 2,000 levels in the next many years. So that's the fundamental analysis of CreditAccess Grameen. Now that's how I look at stocks, right? You need to combine both technical plus fundamental to give you a clear picture on what the company is doing and what is the correct price to buy. You don't want to be holding a stock for the last 3 years, this stock has not given much returns. So you won't be buying a stock very early as well, to try to identify the right entry points. And for that, you need to follow my channel and subscribe to my channel and hit the notification button, so that you don't miss out on a single video from me, and you also learn and join me in this journey. So that's it for today. I'm going to leave you here. Stay safe, trade safe, and I'll see you in another video. Take care. Bye bye.